The Steelers get the win over the Packers in Week 10, but Kwon Alexander apparently has a major knee injury. We're going to be breaking down the latest on his injury status here in just a second. Also, I'm going to be giving out my game balls for the Pittsburgh Steelers over the Green Bay Packers here in Week 10. And then also, we're going to be breaking down the newest AFC North standings update here after today's win going into Browns Week. But before we get into that, make sure you get down in the comments section right now and let me know what's your one-word reaction to the Steelers win over the Green Bay Packers. And with that, let's get into today's show. So unfortunately for the Steelers defense and Kwon Alexander, it appears that Alexander, for the second straight week, the Steelers are going to get a major leg injury to one of their starting linebackers here. Left the game in the fourth quarter, was on the ground, looked like he was in pain. And according to Mike Tomlin in his post-game press conference after the win today, he said that he suffered a major leg injury just a week after Cole Holcomb suffered that gruesome knee injury versus the Tennessee Titans on Thursday Night Football. And it's definitely looking like at this point the Pittsburgh Steelers are starting to get really, really thin at the linebacker position. You still got Landon Roberts, who at this point is a full-time starter. You have Mark Robinson, who I would say has a pretty decent chance of stepping in and being a true starter for at least the next couple of weeks, if not for the rest of the season, depending on what the injury status of Alexander is that we get tomorrow after an MRI. And then also, you got a couple guys on the practice squad that you could potentially move up as well. So it's going to be interesting to see here if the Steelers and Omar Khan add an inside linebacker here in free agency. Anthony Barr, longtime Vikings inside linebacker, played last year with the Dallas Cowboys. That'd be an interesting option for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Good blitzer, former edge rusher. He kind of fits what the Steelers like to do with their Blitzburgh mentality. So if they make a move, we're going to be covering it right here on Steelers Talk. So if they make a big-time splash at inside linebacker, bring somebody in free agency, make sure you click that subscribe button. And also, if they don't make a move by tomorrow, we're probably going to be going over the biggest names that Omar Khan could add to this Steelers roster. So if you want to see the latest Kwon Alexander injury replacements here, you can check us out right now by clicking that subscribe button here at Steelers Talk. All right, now let's give out the game balls here for Week 10. And there's a lot of players that were deserving this week, but I boiled it down to 5. Let's start with the running back, Jaylen Warren. And Jaylen was the star offensively today. I mean, seriously, this guy was getting it done in the passing game, and especially in the run game. Over 100 yards rushing. Our first 100-yard rusher this season is Jaylen Warren on just 15 carries. That's 6.7 yards per carry, people. That is excellent efficiency. He got a touchdown today as well. And what I love about Jaylen Warren is that he's somebody that can really do it all. He's got great change of direction ability. He's got that little bit of extra burst of power too. So even if he's stuffed, he can get an extra yard or two with that final push. And then he's also got that big play ability. He's a great pass blocker on third downs. I mean, there's nothing about Jaylen Warren's game that I don't like. And for those reasons and for the 100-yard performance, that touchdown that he got, he is this week's MVP, in my opinion. He was an absolute bulldog, an absolute jitterbug today. And I love what Jaylen Warren brings to this Steelers offense. Now, shout out your MVP for the Pittsburgh Steelers this week versus the Green Bay Packers. Is it somebody else? Let me know down there in the comments section. For me, it's Jaylen Warren, but this is going to be the pinned comment on today's show, so YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. When that happens, take advantage of that time by giving me your MVP down there in the comments. Now, another person that had a really good game today, I want to give props to Naj Harris for having a really good football game here for the second straight week. He had 16 carries in this one, so he got a slightly larger workload in terms of being a rusher than Jaylen Warren, but it definitely seems like the Steelers are embracing a two-man kind of committee here, especially with the way Jaylen Warren has come on. But listen, Naj actually played pretty darn well today. He had a touchdown of his own, scored the first rushing touchdown today, and collected 82 yards of his own. And really, when you watch the Steelers offense today, I mean, once again, this run game got going, and it was really the star of the game. Naj Harris said in his post-game press conference today that the Steelers have found their identity on offense, and that centers around the rushing game. And this is what they've been trying to do all season long. Really, for most of the first half of the year, they couldn't get the run game going, but over the last 2 games, They absolutely have, and I love what the Steelers have going with this running back committee between Jaylen Warren and Naj Harris right now. Now, I got some more game balls coming up here in just a second, but first I want to tell you about today's sponsor at GameTime. And GameTime is the only ticketing app that I have on my phone because I'm somebody that likes to get last-minute tickets. And before, I'd have a bunch of ticketing apps. I'd be comparing prices. It'd just be a complete you-know-what show when trying to buy tickets last minute. But GameTime is perfect because they got the lowest price guarantee, so you don't have to worry about getting the lowest price because it's guaranteed on GameTime. And then also, they got flash deals right before game time. So the prices get even lower when it gets closer to game time. Absolutely fantastic stuff by GameTime. They got a fantastic user-friendly app to use as well. It's absolutely fantastic. I love using it, and you will too. It's the fastest-growing ticketing app in the country for a reason. So buy tickets in a matter of seconds, 2 taps, and you're set. Tickets are also sent directly to your phone, so you never have to dig through your email for those tickets. You want to get tickets to a Steelers game, a Penguins game, Pirates game when they get back to playing here in the spring. Check out GameTime today and snag the tickets without the stress. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use code SteelersChat. That's one word, all caps, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code SteelersChat. One word, all caps, for $20 off. Download GameTime today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Now let's get to the defensive game balls here, and I want to start with Patrick Peterson. And listen, Patrick Peterson so far this year has not been a perfect corner. He has not been the Cam Sutton replacement that we kind of were hoping that we were getting heading into the year. But you know what? Patrick Peterson had a pretty nice day for himself today and made some really big plays. He had that really, really crucial blocked PAT on the Green Bay Packers, in the first half. And then he makes this incredible pass deflection when the Green Bay Packers were driving down the field trying to take the lead. And once again, this defense makes a big play, and Patrick Peterson this time deflects it. It goes into the arms of Keanu Neal, and that was the first of 2 really key stops for this Pittsburgh Steelers defense in the fourth quarter. So hats off to Patrick Peterson. He had a good day today. And now speaking of people that had a good day today, Keanu Benson stepping up for Montravius Adams at nose tackle this week was an absolute monster. This guy, I mean, we've already gotten to the point, right? Early, it was start Joey Porter Jr., right? Start Joey Porter Jr. Then it was start Broderick Jones. They've already come around to starting JPJ and Broderick. Now it's time to name this kid an official starter at the nose tackle position. He absolutely dominated today. He's been dominating all season. He is the best interior defensive lineman that the Steelers have on their team right now outside of Cam Hayward. Yes, I think he's already better than Larry Ogunjobi. Yes, I think he's already better than DeMarvin Leal, Isaiah Loudermilk, all these different guys, Montravius Adams. This guy is a freaking stud, and the Steelers got him in the second round. My final game ball today goes to TJ Watt because he got a sack today. He led the team in tackles with 8, and then also he gets to second place on the all-time NFL list for most career sacks in the first 100 games of an NFL career in NFL history. He passed up his brother J.J. Watt today, so congratulations, TJ. Much deserved. He has been an absolute menace. We all know how much or how valuable he is to this defense and to this organization. So show your appreciation for TJ Watt down there in the comments section by spamming 90 as many times as you want to show your love to TJ Watt. You never know when TJ might be watching the show, so show some love to him right now by typing 90 down there in the comments. Now, before I go, I want to give some updated AFC North standings updates here because it was a busy day. The Baltimore Ravens lost on a game-winning field goal to the Cleveland Browns, which means the Steelers and Browns continue to be tied for second place. Steelers have the tiebreaker right now, but then, going into next week, you're going to be playing the Browns. Cincinnati lost to Houston today at home, so they're at 5-4 and in dead last in that division. So this is definitely shaken out to be pretty decent for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Bengals lost, Ravens lost, and now you're just a half game out of first place. If you beat the Browns and the Ravens lose next week, Steelers take sole possession yet again of first place in the AFC North. So overall, man, today, 23-19, it was pretty much the same script as that Thursday night football game, right? Down, up 4, an opposing offense is driving down the field. They're in position to potentially win the football game, and then the Steelers get a clutch interception to finish it out. This Steelers defense I mean, they've relied on the turnovers. I don't know how sustainable that is. They tend to give up a lot of yards every game, but they get the turnovers when they matter. And at the end of the day, like Mike Tomlin says, these guys don't blink. And heading into these next 2 weeks versus the Browns and Bengals, they're not going to be able to blink anymore, right? You're sitting at 6-3. You're trying to establish your presence in the AFC North. And now, guys, it's Browns week. It's officially about to go down here. Matthew Peterson and the Browns report are going to want to beat the crap out of us this week. We're not going to let it happen. Make sure you click that subscribe button because we're going to be having a bunch of great Browns week coverage coming up this week. We're probably going to do some Kwon Alexander replacements coming up tomorrow. We're probably going to be doing a sub battle with the Cleveland Browns this week. Hopefully we can end up winning that. And then I'm sure Petey and I are going to end up doing some sort of bet like we did in week 2. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me today. It's officially Browns week. Get yourselves ready, man. It's going to be one hell of a week. Steelers are going to come away with a victory. And before I go here, I want to say thanks to Coop for sticking it out with me today on this very, very long day at the office. We had 2 watch parties, and we still had to make this video before we headed out. So I want to give my shout out to Coop. If you want, spam Coop in the chat. Until tomorrow, guys, here we go, Steelers.